Salutations viewers, my name is GameDame and welcome back to another one of GameDame Reacts. So I'm very excited because now we actually get to see some gameplay for the newly revamped version of Resident Evil 4 that is coming to VR. So let's get right to it because it is about 5 minutes long. And let's watch the gameplay overview for Resident Evil 4 VR from the Oculus Gaming Showcase. Wow.
The most obvious differences between playing RE4 in VR and on console is the shift in perspective and interactivity.
Only on Quest 2 will you be able to play RE4 from Leon's first-person perspective. And the touch controllers will allow you to interact with the world in a fundamentally new way from how it's played on console. For example, items and weapons have been re-engineered to become physical objects that players can interact with, so that you can pick up things like ammo, keys, and treasures, as well as load, aim, and fire weapons in VR.
So damn, it's only on the Quest 2.
By grabbing them off your body instead of going into a menu. And you can wield separate weapons with each hand. Even
That's pretty sick, though, that you can do that.
It's no longer a pause screen. It's an interactive tool. A ton of effort has gone into making weapon interactions smooth, satisfying, and responsive, including two-handed weapons like shotguns and rifles.
That's actually so insane.
Let's talk about the movement system now. We didn't want
I'm not
to
sure I
shift
like
from
the
third to first person to change the fundamental way
inventory,
Leon moves or collides with the world. You'll still move in first person by using the analog stick, but Armature has added a full upper body rig on top of Leon's character to combine his movement with the dual-handed interactivity achieved with touch controllers. If you don't want to use the analog stick to move freely, Armature even added support for teleportation, as well as room scale movement so that you can explore
that's
the
extremely
environment
accessible.
with natural motion. And of course, one of our top priorities is to ensure the experience is comfortably played while seated, and with a ton of comfort options at your disposal to try out. As I mentioned earlier, RE4 debuted on GameCube 16 years ago.
Yeah, which is so long ago,
wondering,
honestly.
How in the world are we bringing the core systems from the original over to Quest 2? Well, first, it takes passion. The teams at Oculus Studios, Armature, and Capcom are all longtime fans of the game who are accepting only the best results.
That's the only results I expected for RE4. Are you kidding me?
A couple years now, and just carefully and reverently making changes that will make your experience feel both fresh and nostalgic. Technically speaking, Armature is using core systems from the original RE4 to drive gameplay and systems, but they've remastered
What are you buying?
Over 4,500 textures have either been repainted or up-resed. World geometry has been adjusted to work in stereoscopic 3D. And enemy behaviors and attacks have been balanced around the player's new perspective to increase mobility in VR.
That's pretty nice that they did that. They've really thought of a lot of
at
things.
A higher frame rate than the original 30 frames per second, and fixed many bugs that the 60 FPS versions of the game had. Now, while Armature is
I'm not sure I like the typewriter. To be honest,
needed to change.
Save. I mean, it's not bad though. It's not a bad adaptation.
4, and remain untouched from the original source material. And all cutscenes will be presented in their original format. If
That's pretty good, especially since they're preserving a lot of the old stuff.
You've likely played, or tried to play, a lot of scary games in VR. Now, RE4 isn't known for being the scariest in the Resident Evil franchise, but it is scarier and more suspenseful in VR thanks to spatial audio and immersive interactivity. Armature has manipulated aspects of the original RE4 audio data and have used it instead as 3D spatial sound. So when you hear noises like crows, voices, and creaks, you're going to want to turn your head to see if there's a threat. They've also made sure that audio telegraphs from enemies to indicate which direction they're attacking from. So where on console you might have heard a Ganado approaching and rather calmly press buttons to reload and prepare a takedown, in VR, you're checking your ammo, you're scrambling to load a mag, and if you drop it, you're only adding to the stress and suspense of the situation.
Yeah, which I also think is insane.
Your mistakes. You'll be living in the moment, carefully tracking ammo and inventory, relying on your senses for success more than you've ever done before. I'll leave you with this. A huge part of the RE4 fame was the elaborate cinematics that sell and tell the story.
You're not wrong.
But once you come out of a cinematic in VR and find yourself face to face with the boss, the experience is totally different.
Yeah, I honestly can't imagine a lot of these fights in VR. I feel like I would 100% shit myself, like especially in that fight right
I
there.
could talk for a lot longer about this game, but we've got to move on because there is more to share today. But stay tuned for more Resident Evil 4 updates
Hell
in the
yeah.
lead up to its launch on Quest 2 later this year.
So for the Quest 2, they put it in a first-person perspective, which is pretty awesome. I like the way that they're kind of going about it. I'm not a big fan of the typewriter system, but it is kind of taking on a little bit more of a classic approach. This is a very beloved game by everyone. It seems that they have taken the time to understand it and see what would work best if you were to play as first-person Leon. But of course, I believe they said that in the Oculus 2 that it's going to be the only one in first-person perspective. Now, I don't know about the Rift S, but I like a lot of what they did with this game, especially incorporating into VR. Like she said, it's not necessarily a scary game in the RE series, but I feel like putting any sort of just putting on a helmet or just putting on a VR set in general, I feel like already makes the game instantly scarier because now you're placed into that situation and it just hits you a little bit more. But let me know in the comments down below if you guys are excited for this and why. And did you love playing the original RE4? Because I sure as hell did. But that is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I highly appreciate your time as always. But please don't forget to subscribe and or follow not only to my YouTube, but to my Twitch. You guys know where my YouTube is at, but you can find my Twitch at twitch.tv/thegamedame. Thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.